Hey, so today I want to talk about the CV agent I've created to help everyone, basically, who is looking for a job to create ATS-Optimized CV. So you may think that it's cool or not that, our CVs are being evaluated by AI now. Before it was different algorithms trying to assess are you a good fit or not based on your the keywords you use in the CV, the metrics, the structure of the CV. If it wasn't clear, like the headers and so on, the scanner may go crazy and not assess your skills correctly. And because of that, you never heard back from the company. So I thought that, with AI agents, it will be super easy to fix that. And it was. I've created the open source library. So you can just go to GitHub, download it, run it, and have a nicely crafted CV. So today I would like to go through this repository so you can benefit and maybe learn something about AI agents and how easy it is to start orchestrating and start using open source tools to create something that you had to pay a lot of money before to make, ATS optimized CVs. So you can see that basically it's work based on two other libraries that I really liked. The first one is AutoGen. So this is from Microsoft. So it's the library that allows you to orchestrate different models, different AI helpers, assistants, whatever you want to call it, in order to execute some tasks. And there are some, some assistants that can search web. They can go with execute some tasks for you, use tools, or just be a regular LLM that gives you the output and can understand the whatever you've written, right? So let's see how it kind of works. So it's not super, amazing. Oh, the second library that I used is render CV. So it allows you to create a YAML structure and then it converts it to beautiful PDF, as you can see here, but also to MD and text format, HTML, whatever you need to use. I sometimes, can recommend when I was testing this. So I was taking the produce MD file and putting it at the end to a reasoning model, which is part of my GPT subscription, to find, hey, do you think something can be improved in here or not? We can test it out, so I can show you. And obviously, the better model you'll use, the better results, I think, or less mistakes. So the thing, I think, how I think about AI agents and models and AI in general, that the results before, right, when we had the algorithm, they were kind of deterministic. You always were given input instructions and there was the expected outcome, right? And it was easy to write unit tests because of it, right? It was deterministic. You know that if it will execute correctly, then it will be this scenario or that scenario, whatever. Here, it's much more complex. And I think that we should start thinking about how to ensure the biggest probability of correct results, and then how we can try to minimize or find the bad results and delete them. Anyway, this is the simple app. Now I'm working on something new, which will be a little more complex, but it's a different video topic. So we have a CV agent, right? This is how I call it. And we have the first LLM, which is responsible for orchestrating stuff. So it's planning, and this is the LLM, and to which we input as part of the prompt, our experience, skills, personal information, and also the advert, so it can find the correct keywords to use, structure the experience in the way that makes sense for the advert, highlight the given keywords, make them bold, structure, skills, whatever, right? But as much as I could, I tried for the tool to always be honest and not hallucinate, but you should always double check the results and modify if something is wrong, which is super easy because of the render CV library. So then it has two writers to which it communicates with. The first is a CV writer. So you can think of it as a CV expert that is responsible for creating the most ATS and human readable CV, right? It should be awesome for hiring manager and for robots. And then there is a CV critic LLM, which is a different one, and it has to critique and give feedback. Hey, I think you should improve this or that. That's not correct. It's not structured well. Optimize here or there, right? And I do it till CV critics approve twice. So the first approval goes and then the second approval. And then when it's done, the CV writer goes back with the generated CV as a text form to the planning agent, our orchestrator, and it moves it to YAML writer. So YAML writer has access to a documentation of render CV, and it's using this documentation to convert this text into the YAML for you, which is super nice. And it tries it multiple times and uses tools to store and render. And the render tool function, whatever Python function, can result in an error if something went wrong, if the YAML was not structured correctly. So it analyzes the error and then applies fixes to the YAML file. And because of this, we can have a beautiful output like this one, where we have a professional summary with some data and commercial experience. And this is page 1 of 2, so there will be a second page. So let's jump into the code. So it's Poetry project. All you have to do is create the end file with your, open API key or whatever you want to use. It's super easy to switch, like I here used Llama. Obviously there is a DeepSeek now. I think AWS is releasing it on Bedrock. So if you have some config done with Gateway and Lambda, you can also expose models and use this compatible API format with Bedrock. So you just switch the model you want to use. Let's say, for example, we want to use 4.0 instead of Mini when writing a CV. Obviously, the costs are the better model, the more costly it is. And we just change the model in the planning agent from Mini to 4.0, right? And you're done. So if you want different model, you just change the name, change the base URL, change the API key, whatever you need. So, but the Mini is good enough for planning. So let's start maybe from the execution. So we start with running the agent with a state, right? We can save the state. It's not really needed here. I was experimenting with something. It has to be cleaned up, but it creates the team, swarm team, and then we generate the task. So let's talk about teams. So generate the swarm team we have multiple assistants, as I said, right? Multiple agents, the planning agent, the writing agent, the critiquing agent, the YAML writer agent, and then we have to create a team for all of them. And this is how it looks. So we have participants in our team. We have a text termination when the planning agent should terminate. What's the way of terminating the work and to ensure that once the job is done. And then everything basically is based on good prompts, tools, and handoffs. So a handoff is basically the to which agent a given agent can talk to, and tools, so these are in this case functions which this agent can use, the Python function. So generate CV is basically running this command, and then we have also store, which is storing the YAML. And everything else is prompts, right? So you can see that being able to express in plain text our expectations, our logic, is becoming super important. And it can be like written, but you can, if you can say, and then convert it to text. So it's crucial to be able to think in terms of, you know, like algorithm a little bit. We have this agent responsible for this different functions, classes, whatever you want to call it. And these agents are communicating with each other. So how to write the instruction the way that it makes sense for robots, for LLMs to be able to consume it and knows how to act. So let's analyze the planning agent, which I like. So description is for other agents to understand how to use a given agent. And then we have the model, we have handoffs, and the system message. So you're a planning agent, your role is to first break down complex tasks into smaller manageable subtasks. And second, delegate these subtasks to appropriate agents. And we list the agents they can talk to. They have a writer agent, a YAML writer, and a critic agent. It probably can be deleted because only writer is talking to critic agent. Then we explain their purpose, and we say that you do not execute tasks yourself, you only plan and delegate tasks. And we ask for a format in which it shows how to delegate. And once the YAML writer confirms a successful render, then we please summarize the interaction and terminate, right? And this is our end statement for a terminate, as I showed you, and this is how we know that it successfully completed the job. And you can say, like, if you couldn't, you know, fulfill the successful whatever rendering of YAML 5 times, also terminate, and so on, right? So I will run it in the background, so for it to execute. And we can see that there is some advert, I think for Visa or something, which I found online. And this is like the imaginary PM's data. We have the advert, as I said. We have the experience, which is like something someone has in whatever format. You can have it as only as text. It will figure it out for you, right? Then we have the personal info, like full name, telephone, education, about me, and the skills, some tech skills, soft skills, whatever makes sense for you. And you can see that it provided all of it to the agent. So it started thinking, okay, I'm becoming a CV writer, then CV critic, review of feedback, ensure the header is clear and well formatted, ensure each position is formatted consistently, present the languages in a clean, organized manner, for example, So this is coming from critic, it's coming back to writer, it's coming back to critic, then it's confirming that, you know, that's fine. Please review it and let me know if any other modifications are needed. Then CV critic is saying, well, all good, let's move on. So it went to the planning agent, like again back from critic to writer, then to planning agent said, whoa, let's go to transfer to YAML writer, right? And YAML writer started to executing, and it started with a function to store. The YAML has been successfully created and stored. Now I will proceed to generate the CV PDF using this YAML configuration, and it thrown some errors, right? Our YAML is not compatible with render CV format because whatever. And now it tries to correct it. So The following issues were encountered during the validation of the CV. I asked it to list it. Now it stores again. Fixed YAML, and it tries to save it. So going back to our thing is, I can show you the YAML writing agent because it's more complex. It's doing few things. So you are a CV render agent or a YAML writer, whatever. Your role is to follow a multi-step process using specific tools to generate a PDF version of a CV. Below are your instructions. Step 1, create the YAML. And those are instructions. Parse the documentation here. Analyze the correct example of YAML here. Generate or fix the YAML to a specific You see, your CV is rendered. I will show you in a second. Important, apply this theme and international phone number format because it usually deletes the international, which I don't think is cool. Then store and generate, right? Step 2. Store using store YAML tool and generate using this tool. Handle failures. If the generate CV tool fails. Failed generating instruction. Task. Summarize all errors. You've seen the errors were this. Analyze the working example again. Go through blah blah. Apply changes. Return to step 2 to store the fixed YAML and then generate a PDF again. And handle success. The CV is successfully generated by the CV renderer agent and the PDF has been confirmed. Hand off to planner agent and confirm successfully CV rendered. And then generated CV. If you're any adjustment, please let me know, right? So now it will say to planning agent, transferring to planning agent because, I successfully generated a CV. And now planning agent will probably confirm CV was successfully generated. Congratulations. And summary of interaction. I hope you remember when I said that please summarize the entire interaction. So we can see the planning agent initiated the task to create an ATS-Optimized CV for John Doe based on detailed commercial experience, skills, and job advert specific. The CV writer was engaged to draft the CV. CV critic, several iterations. CV writer and CV critic agreed that this is okay. YAML writer created YAML, and we're good. So let's see what it generated, right? As I said, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Usually the results are pretty good. I'm surprised how good these are. So let me find the CVM. So we can see, right, that we have all the social networks. We have John Doe with location, email, summary, experience senior, proven track, robust strategies, emerging technologies. Then we move here. Product road mapping, cross-functional collaboration. We have nicely, very up to the point highlights of each position with correct start, end date, location, and so on. Then we have to go to education, and then we have languages. We have the correct VLAN and correct phone number format as we agreed with the thing. So now we go to render output. Can I see it? Yeah. So you can see, right? It looks really, really nice. And it has all the tools of the soft skills aligned with the advert. It looks really, really cool. Remote, city name. It's probably missing in our experience part, right? City name, yeah. So I generated this with GPT to have something which is not personal, obviously. So, I hope that it shows you that it's so easy to create an amazing tools now. And secondly, I hope that you find it useful, not only the video in which I tried to explain that basically it's all becoming how are you able to think of solutions in which AI agents can be helpful, how to orchestrate them properly, in which steps, how to ensure the prompts are robust enough so it generates good enough results. And it takes a lot of iterations. So start with, cheaper models like DeepSeek or whatever, even if you want to move to GPT. And then that also the tool will be useful for you, because I know there are a lot of layoffs, other things, and I hope that it will be helpful, right? You can also take just the last thought which I was talking about. You can also take the MD version, you can copy, ask GPT, whatever reasoning model to evaluate, and fix and re-render if you need to. But, it looks really cool. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.